Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jamie Martino. I am here on behalf of PACAC, and I'm just going to get our presentation started. So welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for All Pennsylvania Students, which is sponsored by Pennsylvania Association for College Admissions Counseling and StriveScan. PACAC is a nonprofit association comprised of more than 1,200 school counselors, college admission counselors, independent education consultants, and other professionals responsible for guiding students through the important transitions from high school to post-secondary options. I want to thank everybody for joining us. As we get started, I just want to let you know that you can ask questions to the Q&A button on your screen. Feel free to type your questions there, and our presenters will be able to get to them throughout the presentation. If they don't, that's okay. Our presenters will be able to contact you later to give you an answer to that question. Your camera and microphone will be off and remain off through the entire session, so the panelists cannot see you or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at PACAC.org. This presentation, like I said, is being recorded and will be available in about a week on the same website, which once again is PACAC.org. I'd now like to turn it over to our panelists.
All right, hi everybody, welcome to this panel. We appreciate everybody showing up for this panel. We're going to be talking to you about the advantages of studying at premier independent universities in Florida. Should you have any questions throughout the presentation, please feel free to write them in the chat and we'll try and answer during the presentation or even after. And we're just going to go ahead by introducing ourselves. So let's see here. Yep. My name is Tonya. I'm an admission counselor at Florida Tech, and I have been working here for about 2 years now, and I work directly with students from Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Alabama.
Awesome. My name is Lynn Williams. I work at Florida Southern College, and in addition to Pennsylvania students, I work with Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, and the Mid-Atlantic states.
Hi everyone, my name is Jenny Connor. I'm an admission counselor at Eckerd College, and I primarily work with students from the Southeast. And then my colleague Sam Bannon, who is unable to be here today, works with our Pennsylvania students.
And I guess that makes me the last person. My name is Omar Alnahas. I am with Lynn University's Office of Admission. Just like my colleagues, I work with students from Pennsylvania, Ohio, and the DMV area as well.
Awesome. So to get started, why should you study at one of the independent schools in Florida? There are a ton of great reasons. First and foremost, we offer a quality education. Our independent schools are among the nation's top performers, and while all of us here today range in size, location, and academic programs, each campus here has their own unique feel. Students at our schools benefit from a high level of engagement with their professors. We have few or no graduate assistants or student assistants leading courses. That ensures you're working very closely with the experts in the field, and your professors become your mentors and your champions. Having these kinds of relationships opens the doors to a lot of opportunities to participate in and conduct research on campus. Some students even end up receiving stipends to continue their work. With the help of professors, students at all of our institutions have even had their work published in peer-reviewed articles in journals, which is one of the biggest academic accomplishments an undergraduate can achieve. And then finally, we take pride in the fact that our schools also provide an education with a global focus. We encourage our students to embrace diversity both on and off campus through international connections and extensive travel abroad opportunities, which each of us will talk about more later.
That's me. All right, so I'm going to talk about the academic advantages of studying at some of our schools. So studying at our schools also means that you'll have easy access to Florida's variety of rich and diverse industries for professional experience. So Florida, as a state, is ranked 5th in the nation for high-tech employment and is also home to 15 Fortune 500 companies. Our students are able to pursue internships and career opportunities in fields like aerospace and aviation and financial and health professional services. We have everything from biological science research to education, health professions, and computer science. So there really should be something for everybody at our schools. Our high quality academics and internship opportunities work together to prepare you for what comes after graduation, whether that's landing your dream job or getting accepted into a graduate or professional program.
We are extremely proud that a combined 92% of our students are gainfully employed, serving in the military, or continuing their education at the graduate, professional, and even the doctoral level within 1 year of graduation. As independent schools in the state of Florida, we are dedicated to making our education affordable for our students. While affordability may not always be the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the word independent school, all of our schools offer scholarships and financial aid opportunities that help make affordability a reality for you and your family. Additionally, the vast majority of our graduates earn their bachelor's degree in 4 years or less, which allows you to spend less on your education. In fact, recent data shows that students nationwide are graduating from college in 5 to 6 years on average. This can end up costing you up to 40% more on your education, and that's not really a financial burden that we want to put on our students. So much so that we awarded over $200 million in scholarships and grants combined last year.
All right, it also doesn't hurt that Florida has the perfect climate to learn and live and to play too. From Disney and Universal to the nation's top beaches, there's a ton of things to explore here in Florida. Our mild climate is also perfect for year-round championship-winning athletics. All of our schools compete in the NCAA Division II Sunshine State Conference. And the added bonus, it's summer year-round, which means no snow for you all. So why should you study at an independent university in Florida? Well, like we've shared, there's a ton of different reasons. So now we'll talk a little bit about each of our schools. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about Eckerd. This is a picture of our campus located in St. Petersburg, Florida, just outside of Tampa. We are a small liberal arts and sciences college with just under 2,000 students. 90% of those students are residential, so they will live with us on campus for all 4 years. So if you want to go to the next slide, we'll get a little bit more detail about Eckerd. So something pretty unique about our campus and our student population is our geographic reach. So 80% of Eckerd students come from outside the state of Florida, all across the US as well as from all across the world, and then 20% from our home state, from the Panhandle all the way to Miami. So what's unique about this is that the average American college student usually travels about 200 to 250 miles from home to attend a college or university, but the average Eckerd student travels over 1,000 miles from home. So our students are adventurous, they're excited to start their next chapter and path in life and to kind of, take that next exciting step. Something else that we really love about our institution is our academic calendar. So for sophomores, juniors, and seniors, what that looks like is a 4-1-4. They take 4 classes in the fall semester, 1 during a January winter term that is 3 weeks long, and 4 during the spring semester for a total of 9 academic courses over their year. But it's a little bit different for our first year students. They take a 1-4-4 schedule. So if you want to go to the next slide. So like I said, our first year students do 1-4-4. So they do a short term at the beginning of their time with us. It's called autumn term. It begins in August of your first year. It's a 3-week intense orientation and academic experience. So you arrive on campus as a first year student before any of the rest of our students. You take 1 academic course. You do campus activities, orientation, community service, really it's just a great time to transition from high school to college, to make sure you've got a good foundation, have a good community around you before you transition to taking a full academic course load. This is also the time where you'll get your first faculty mentor and really just learn, you know, what's your surroundings at Eckerd will be like. These are all the areas of study that we offer at Eckerd. We have 40 different majors and 50 minors. On the screen, you'll see some of these have asterisks. Those are our programs that are only offered as minors. We also have several pre-professional tracks or programs like pre-law, pre-health, pre-vet, things of that nature. And then a couple partnership programs such as a BFA partnership with Circle in the Square Theater School in New York City, and a 3-3 law program, as well as a 3-2 engineering program with Columbia University in New York City, as well as Washington and Lee. So the most popular areas of study at Eckerd are marine science, environmental studies, business, psychology, and animal studies. But as you can see from this list, there's a little bit of everything for most students. We also really encourage our students, if you've got multiple areas of interest, to do a double major or a major or minor. I always like to say that you as a student, you're not just one-sided, you're not just interested in one thing, so your education should reflect that as well. It should be dynamic and all-encompassing. All right, let's talk a little bit about our on-campus life and outside the classroom experiences. So as you saw from the picture at the beginning, as well as this picture here, Eckerd is on the water in St. Petersburg. We're on Boca Ciega Bay, and that means we do have an on-campus beach, which is a great perk for our students. It's an Eckerd tradition for our students to gather at the beach every evening to watch the sunset. So if we were there right now, you'd probably see some students hanging out in hammocks, maybe putting up a slack line like this student has, doing yoga, or even studying, because the Wi-Fi does reach down to the South Beach. And as you can see in this picture, we also have some furry friends or dogs that join us on campus. We are a pet-friendly campus, so we have dogs, cats, reptiles, birds, all sorts of animals that live in the residence halls with our students. Our dogs have their own dog park on campus, and they enjoy a lot of the same benefits as our students, including a graduation ceremony at the end of their 4 years with us. So that's a really unique and fun aspect of our community as well. In addition to that, we've got tons of clubs and organizations, and like I mentioned earlier, Division II sports for students to take advantage of if that's one of their goals as well. Another unique aspect of our campus is our Waterfront facility, which serves multiple purposes. It's not only recreational, but an educational facility as well. So from this picture, you see some of our students enjoying the recreational aspects. All students can go down to the waterfront, and as long as they have passed a swim test, can check out kayaks, paddle boards, they can sign up for sailing lessons. You can also do things like check out camping equipment or sign up for college-sponsored camping trips. You can get scuba certified through the waterfront at a reduced cost. So really just taking advantage of our location and being able to be out on the water as much as possible, or as much as you want. But it's also an educational facility. So as I mentioned earlier, marine science is one of our most popular programs. And so the professors of that program use the Waterfront facility to take students out on boats and do sample collections and lab work during the week and things like that. As well as our environmental studies professors will also use the Waterfront to go out on the boats if their lab work requires that as well. Now just to quickly go over some of our application requirements. At Eckerd, we accept both the Common App as well as the Eckerd College app, which you can find online. In application will need an official high school transcript. We are test optional for the next 2 years, so you can submit test scores if you would like, but you by no means have to. And then we will also need at least one letter of recommendation. This letter of rec needs to be from an academic source, but you can provide multiple from a coach, an employer, or maybe another academic rec as well. All applicants who apply before December 1st will have a free application. And then you can apply using one of two decisions. We have early action for all anyone who wants to apply before November 15th. So that will not only be free, but we guarantee a decision will be in the mail to you no later than December 15th. And then rolling admission, where it'll take probably about a month after your application is completed with all its materials to get a decision sent back to you. To finish up about Eckerd, something that we are very proud of is to be a member of Colleges That Change Lives, which is a book about 40 schools across the US that approach higher education just a little bit differently. The excerpt on our college says, Eckerd College might seem like the perfect spot for an easy college career, 4 years marked by the sun, surf, and sand, but if you're looking for a vacation, you should enroll elsewhere. That's all to say that after you've seen the pictures and heard about our campus, there's a lot of distractions at Eckerd. You know, we have a beach on campus, there's dogs running around, there's lots of fun things to do both on campus and off. But it's a very academically rigorous institution. Our professors expect a lot out of our students, and our students expect a lot out of our professors. So you're going to be challenged in the classroom, and our students are very passionate about their goals and are looking to, move forward and achieve those goals through their education at Eckerd. So if you're looking for a unique campus location and experience, but also to be challenged in the classroom, we might be a great option for you.
Cool, thank you so much, Jenny. So now I am going to present a little bit of info about Florida Southern College. To get started with some basic info, Florida Southern is located in the city of Lakeland, which is almost exactly halfway between Tampa and Orlando. We have about 3,500 total students, and of those 3,500, about 60% are from the state of Florida and 40% are from out of state, representing just about all 50 states and 50 foreign countries as well. The next slide has a little bit of info about our academic programs. We have about 70 different programs of study as well as 16 pre-professional tracks. Our most popular majors include biology, marine biology, nursing, business, music, theater, and exercise science. We do have we're a liberal arts college at our core, so no matter what your major is, you are going to be getting a well-rounded degree. Moving forward, we place a heavy emphasis on engaged and experiential learning. So you're going to be an active participant in your classroom no matter what you choose to study. We really believe in the power of learning by doing and want to immerse our students in their field as soon as possible. For example, on this slide, you can see a photo of our CBS affiliate studio, which is right on campus and allows communication students to get hands-on, real-life broadcasting experience. Another example, our biology students are conducting research with antibiotic-producing microorganisms in the very first week they're on campus, and that's through a partnership with the Tiny Earth Network. We're able to offer this engaged learning experience in part because of our small class sizes. The average class size is about 18 students, and the student-to-faculty ratio is 14:1. All the classes are taught by professors themselves, and we just ensure, that students are learning from the experts in the field. Moving ahead, part of our engaged learning experience includes what we call our 3 guarantees: study abroad, professional internship, and graduation on time. The first guarantee I'm going to highlight is study abroad. We guarantee this through something called our Junior Journey program, which is a 7 to 10-day trip that takes place over school breaks in either your junior or senior year. You go with a professor, so there's an academic component to that trip, and you get course credit for it. The best part about these trips is that they are at little to no additional cost to students. We offer both domestic and international options, and you can go on one that's not affiliated with your major, whichever one is the most interesting to you. We also guarantee internships to all of our students regardless of major. 95% of employers are looking for new hires with experience, so having an internship allows you to be a competitive candidate once you enter the job market. Students have options to do internships locally during the school year, or if you have an opportunity closer to home over school breaks, we definitely encourage you to take advantage of that. And our last guarantee is graduation on time. We're able to guarantee this in addition to everything we've already shared academically. Students are paired with an academic advisor in their field of study as soon as they are on campus. They meet with their advisor several times a year to make sure they're on track for graduation. Something you might not have thought of too, we are a transfer credit friendly campus, so you might be coming into college with some college level courses under your belt already through dual enrollment or AP. Moving ahead, we're talking a little bit about why this is so important. Well, it translates to post-graduation success. A third of our students are going on to a graduate program, and the remaining 2/3 enter the workforce. Most importantly, 97% of our students report achieving their post-graduation goals within 1 year of leaving FSC, so we're very proud of them. On the next slide, we highlight student life. So obviously academics are the most important part of your college experience, but we do pride ourselves on being a true campus community. In fact, students are required to live on campus all 4 years, but on the flip side of that, that means that you're guaranteed to have campus housing all 4 years as well. Our 16 different housing options include on-campus dorms as well as apartment complexes that are near campus for upperclassmen. The next slide has a little bit of info about athletics. So we have 20 NCAA Division II sports teams on campus and 30 national championships under our belt, so a lot of school spirit. Varsity recruiting is competitive and it's handled by our coaches directly. So students who are interested in athletics, we encourage you to fill out the prospective athlete questionnaire, which can be found on our website. We also have tons of opportunities to be involved at the club or intramural level. Speaking of clubs, the next slide shares a little bit about clubs and organizations. There are tons of ways to get involved on campus, everything from Greek life to student government, faith life, and multiple special interest groups. There truly is something for everyone. On the next slide, we're going to talk a little bit about how to officially become a Florida Southern College moccasin, the snake, not the shoe. First and foremost, it's 100% free to apply no matter how you do so. Our application is available on our website, the Common App, and the Coalition app. In addition to the application, we're going to need a high school transcript and personal statement. The letter of recommendation is optional this year. This year, we have also adopted a test optional policy, so you can submit ACT or SAT scores, but if you've been unable to test or are unhappy with your scores, you don't have to submit them. You can just select to apply test optional. You can send in all of these materials one at a time as they become available. You don't need to wait for everything to be ready to hit send all at once. And then once we have all of your documents, you'll get a decision back from us within 2 to 4 weeks. And the last thing I wanted to touch on today is about financial aid. We understand that cost is a major factor in the decision-making process, so I just wanted to give you a little bit of information about that up front. Every application is automatically considered for an academic-based scholarship. You don't even need to apply separately. We do encourage all students to file the FAFSA at least for the first year because we also offer some need-based aid opportunities. Some departments also offer specific scholarships that would be based on an audition, a portfolio review, an interview, athletic recruitment, etc. And then finally, we are scholarship stacking. So we will accept any external awards that a student receives on top of their Florida Southern College award letter. So thank you all for your time this afternoon. And now I am going to pass the baton on to Florida Tech.
Thank you so much. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about Florida Tech. And as you can see on the little map here, we're located in Melbourne, which is right on the east coast of Florida. It's about an hour southeast of Orlando. And we're located right in the middle of the Space Coast. And Florida Tech was actually founded back in 1958 by a couple NASA scientists and engineers. Back then, when U.S. was at a space race with the Soviet Union, there was a couple people working over at NASA who kind of came together. They realized we need further education, more advanced knowledge in order to get ahead of the space race. So they came together to create a school to further educate the people already working at NASA. So that was kind of the beginning of Florida Tech, how it all started. So we started with only a couple of grad programs, but today we have closer to 190 different degree programs for bachelor's, master's, and PhD. We're also considered to be a smaller school. Right now we have about 3,500 undergrad students. So the average class sizes are about 20 to 25 students. The way our population is broken down is we have 1/3 Florida students, 1/3 out-of-state students, and 1/3 international students. Florida Tech has 4 colleges. We have College of Aeronautics, College of Business, College of Engineering and Science, and then we have College of Psychology and Liberal Arts. Our College of Engineering and Science is definitely the most popular one. This is where 75% of our students are enrolled in. And again, I think that's because of our location right here on the Space Coast and the fact that we are Florida's main STEM university. Our most popular majors on campus is definitely aerospace, aerospace engineering, mechanical engineering. We're very well known for our computer science and software engineering program, but we also have very specialized like psychology, like forensic psychology. We do aviation as well. So we get students for all kind of colleges here. And on the picture that you guys see here, it's we have our own telescope here on campus, which our students and faculties can take advantage of for training and research purposes. One thing I'd like to mention, which kind of makes us unique to some of the other schools, is the fact that we admit students directly into their majors. So when a student comes and for admission, they would apply for a specific major. Let's say that was mechanical engineering, and first semester, they will be learning about mechanical engineering and going into the machine shop the first semester. So we don't really get any undecided students here. We get students who know what they want to study and they want to go at it right away. A couple of cool programs that I'd like to mention is one of them is our co-op program. So I'm sure most students have heard of an internship and what's an internship is. And we do a lot of internship here, but also co-ops. So a co-op is a guaranteed paid internship within your field of study. And because we admit students directly into their majors, you can go out and get your first co-op or your first internship the summer after your freshman year. And, by going out and getting work experience, it helps you kind of figure out what you want to do after you graduate, if you want to, stay on and take a master's degree, or if you have a specific company you want to go work for. So it's a great opportunity for our students, and it's not required, but we highly encourage it. Most students who will go out and get a co-op, they will usually have a job offer in hand before even graduating. Another program is our Fast Track program, which lets our students graduate in 5 years with a bachelor and a master's degree. This would usually take 6 years, but here you can do it in 5 years. So the way it works is your senior year, you'd start taking some additional classes toward your master's degree, and then that way you only have to take 1 additional year after that. It's not something you would decide on right now, but it's good to know, because if you know you want to get your master's too, then this will save you both time and money. As a student within the engineering college, you are required to finish a senior year project. So all throughout your senior year, you're going to be spending a lot of time in our Harris Student Design Center, which here you're going to be planning, executing, designing a project that by the end of your senior year, you're going to have to showcase in our gym. So you're going to be working across disciplines like you would in a real work environment, designing and building this project. And Northrop Grumman, which is a big high-tech company here in Melbourne, they kind of sponsor this showcase, so it's open to the public. Usually it's in April every senior year. And I've gone a couple years, and there is really some cool stuff that our students have built. We have seen formula-style race cars, rockets, mining robots for NASA, ROVs, aircrafts, just to mention some. Florida Tech is also a Division II school, and we have about 18 different varsity sports here for men and women, and we compete in the Sunshine State Conference. But besides our D2 teams, we also have a lot of other clubs and organizations here on campus. In total, we have about 120 different clubs and organizations right now, and they all range from like beach volleyball and surfing to robotics, esports, and Greek life. So there should be something for everybody to get involved in. Another thing I like to mention is our study abroad programs. A lot of our students will go study abroad at Oxford, England over the summer, but you can go anywhere you'd want to. We also offer a lot of research trips. So if you're into marine biology, I know one year they took a summer research trip to Costa Rica to study the reefs there. So a lot of opportunities to go on either study abroad or research trips as well. A little bit about the application process. So Florida Tech do rolling admission, meaning we don't really have early decision or anything like that. We don't have an application deadline. We review applications all throughout somebody's senior year. You can apply to Florida Tech two ways. You can either use the common application or our own university application that you can find on our website. It's completely up to you which one you want to use. We don't really prefer one over the other, and they're both free. The second thing we need is your transcript. Like I said, since we admit students directly into their majors, we're going to evaluate you based off what you tell us you want to study. So there will be certain things on your transcript that we're going to be looking for if you want to pursue a STEM major compared to a psychology or a business major. The last thing we need is SAT or ACT scores. We still require that as a part of our evaluation process. And once we have these three things, it usually takes us it shouldn't take more than 2 weeks before you get your decision. So it goes pretty fast. As you can see on this slide, essay and letter recommendations, they are optional. We don't require them, but if you have it, I highly recommend you submit it because it lets us get to know you a little bit better as a student. We receive about 11,000 applications per year, and we admit about 60% of them. This right here gives you a little bit of an overview of our current students that came in for fall 2020. It shows the average weighted GPA and our mid 50% range for SAT and ACT. This is not by any means our minimum. This is just the mid 50% range, just to give you a picture of what type of students who come here. And we get a lot of good students applying to Florida Tech. One thing we're really proud of is our placement rate. So our placement rate here is 95%, meaning our students either have a job within their field of study or they're into grad school within 6 months of their undergrad. And this list right here is just some of our companies that our students will go work for. Like I said, we're right on the Space Coast, so there's a lot of high-tech companies around campus here. And I usually, when I work with students from Pennsylvania, I tell them that there's a good chance you might end up living in Melbourne a couple years after you graduate, just because this is where the industry is right now. A little bit about financial aid. So Florida Tech gives out a lot of financial aid. 97% of our students receive some type of financial assistance. And for fall 2020, the average financial aid packet was about $33,500 per year. So the way it works is when you apply for admission, you automatically apply for our merit-based scholarship awards, and that's going to be based off of your GPA and your test scores. So if you were to apply today and get admitted today, you would receive your academic scholarship letter right away. And then later on, we're going to build a full financial aid packet for you once we receive your FAFSA information. And in that packet, we'll have other university scholarships and grants. We do some incentive grants, like if you're in robotics or an Eagle Scout or something like that. And we also have ROTC here on campus. And like I said, we're Division II, so we have athletic scholarship. We're also a yellow ribbon school, so if you have any post 9/11 GI Bill benefits, you can bring that here, as well as federal financial aid will be in that packet as well. So that was a little bit about Florida Tech, and I'm gonna give it over to Omar.
Thank you so much, Sonia. Last but not least, welcome to the southern part of Florida. We are an hour north of Miami. So if you're coming down to visit us, or if you just want to check campus out, you can fly into the Miami airport, Fort Lauderdale, or even West Palm Beach. The furthest airport is Miami, an hour away. The closest is West Palm Beach, about 20 minutes away. When you look at campus and you look at Boca, it is truly a piece of heaven. We're 3 miles away from the beach. The average temperature in the winter is about 70, 72 degrees. So you can't go wrong when it comes to the weather at all. But most importantly, when I talk about the area of Boca and the county as well, is we are in one of the fastest growing districts in the United States. Within an hour drive of Lynn, you have 40 Fortune 500 companies that have a headquarter down here. So that's where our students get their job opportunities, they get internship opportunities, and it is a massive place to be able to network. There is one key thing that always stands out when people visit Lynn, and that's how international we are. As you'll see in the next slide, that we have students from all around the US, almost all 50 states and territories, and we are considered the #1 most diverse university in the South of the United States. We have students from nearly 100 different nationalities. I'm one of them. I'm originally from Egypt. My director is from Italy. My VP is from South Africa. My colleague across here is from Scotland, and this is just within the Office of Admission. Now you can multiply that throughout all of campus. Now, when you think about diversity, it's great to have all of these people, different races, different colors, different customs that are throughout all of campus. But what does it mean in today's world? Well, with COVID and everything that is happening, you're very limited in an opportunity to travel abroad. And having people from near 100 different countries, you are gonna learn about their language. You are gonna learn about their customs, their culture, and you're gonna have a little piece of their understanding right here without leaving campus. And when the time does come and we can resume back study abroad, we have programs in all 6 major continents. Our favorite spots for our students, they go to Italy, they go to Argentina, they go to Australia, the UK, and much more. You'll see next is in terms of another big thing that Lynn is known for is we're an Apple Distinguished School. Now, what does that mean to you as a student? When you look at it, you no longer have to carry a heavy book bag with 50, 60 pounds of books. As a student, you get the iPad Pro, the keyboard, and the pencil, and all your education is gonna be on it. So you're literally walking around with less than 2 pounds, where you have everything that you're gonna need. You're gonna be able to take your quizzes, gonna be able to do your papers, but best of all, once you're done with class, if you wanna be on Netflix, you wanna be on social media, it is unrestricted, so you can use it to your pleasure. But it also saves you a lot of money. Speak with anybody that is attending a traditional university. They're gonna tell you they spend $200, $300, maybe even $400 on a book. And then when at the end of the semester, when everybody's trying to sell their book because they're no longer gonna use it, they're selling it for pennies on the dollar. For us, because everything is on the iPad, we are able to save you roughly about 97% in total cost. Now, when I say 97%, you're probably wondering, well, what am I paying for? I'll give you my personal experience. In a year, I've paid $250 for all my books for the year. So that should give you an understanding of you're gonna be paying somewhere between 200 to maybe 300, a little bit over 300 for an entire year. Now, as you see also when it comes to the iPad in the next slide is we have a huge integration with all of our majors within the iPad. First and foremost, if you want to go ahead and graduate early because you want to join the Army or the military in general, you just want to go on to grad school, or you just want to start working earlier, we have a 3-year accelerated bachelor's in which each semester you're going to take an additional class. And in the summer, you're going to take 2 additional classes. We are going to cover the cost of those classes every year. So you end up saving about $50,000. If you're going to be entering our College of Business, you can do our 3+1, in which you're going to graduate with an MBA, which will put you at one of the top tiers when you're graduating and looking for a job. If you're going and want to become a lawyer or going to law school, we do have a 3+3 program and a partnership with another university that allows you to go into law school a lot earlier and save you a lot of money as well. But you see from the list of majors, we have everything from aeronautics to bio pre-med, College of Business, animation and computer science, and much, much more. Next, you're gonna see more about our actual academics. Traditionally, you have the first 2 years are your gen eds, and then the last 2 years is where you can finally focus on your major. For a student like me, when I entered and I had to take the general classes at another university, I wasn't so happy because that means I had to wait for my passion 2 years. At Lynn, we allow you to dive right into your major starting your freshman year. But also another thing that I wasn't really keen on is taking classes that didn't really correlate to what my passion was. Traditionally, you would have to repeat English again, some sort of literature, you'd have to take history, you'd have to take some sort of social sciences. While it may be interesting to some, others, they may not like it. And that's why at Lynn, we have restructured the foundation and we've called them the dialogues. This is where we tackle skills essentially that you need to build prior to graduation. For instance, instead of taking stat, you're gonna be taking personal finance, where you're gonna learn how you do your taxes. What is an APR on a car and a mortgage? How do you balance your checkbook and raise your credit score? How do you understand stocks? We all have the stock app on our phone. We rarely use it because we don't understand the tickers, when to invest, when to sell. Those are skills that you really need to know. Another class that is one of my favorite is magic, science, and religion. 3 words, yet you typically don't see in the same sentence. But we like to tackle that. We like to tackle that taboo subjects because of one main reason. Look in the news. What do you see? You see a lot of people clashing because of difference of opinion. We have entered the age in which people no longer have that respectful dialogue anymore. It's a lot of, it's my point of view, I don't care about your point of view, and that's the end of story. Well, at Lynn, we like to tackle these subjects early on because we are preparing the next generation of leaders. So that means we want you to get to the place essentially where you reach an argument and you can say, I respect your opinion. I'm also having my opinion. We can part ways, but still be friends. So those are the sort of classes that you can expect here at Lynn. Now, moving forward to the next slide, you're gonna see that just like my colleagues, we have sports, we have clubs and organizations. We're NCAA D2 in 19 different sports. My favorite spot on campus is our new university center, the Christine E. Lynn University Center. It's bigger than the White House. So that's how massive it is. That's where we have our dining, that's where you have your clubs and organizations. We also have collaborative learning spaces where you can collaborate and come up with great ideas. Just to give you a quick snippet on what sort of collaboration happens, just this past spring, 2 of our students came up with a new toothpaste. When you brush in the morning, it's infused with caffeine that is subtle enough to wake you up. And at night, if you use the night version, it's infused with melatonin to get you ready for sleep. This was done by students that are 19 and 20 years old. Now imagine what else is happening at Lynn. If you are really interested and you want to see what else happens at Lynn, I'll definitely encourage you to come and visit campus. We have 3 options. You can visit virtually, you can come and do a drive-through, or you can come and have a full campus visit that's roughly an hour and a half long, where at the end, you're going to be meeting with me to answer any final questions. If you're ready for that, you can go online to lynn.edu/visit to schedule your appointment. Otherwise, we live in the world of social media, so make sure that you check us out on Insta, YouTube, and of course, Snap. And if you have any questions, my contact information is going to be in the next slide.
All right, great. Thank you so much, everybody. So we're going to give it, we have 3 more minutes. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask them now. Right on the slide here, you can also see the contact information for all of us. So should you have any questions later on, you can always reach out to any of us, text, call, email, anything. We'll be sure to answer your questions that way too.
Okay. Well, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. And I'm going to try to share my There is a way for you, after this presentation, you'll be emailed a quick survey, so please hang on and look for that. It's just 4 questions, and we appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, this is just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional at pacac.org. And you can also find recordings of sessions from this week there as well. So I want to thank everyone and thank our facilitators as well. You're welcome to stay on for the next few minutes to see if anybody has questions. I'll be here until 3:45, but I want to thank everyone so much for their time today. It looks like both the students left the session. So I'm going to end it now. Great job. I learned so much.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.